Many times in the field when you're going to spray a bearing application, it's impossible to access all sides of the bearing and or the shaft assembly. There may be a guard or a beam or some other obstruction that does not allow you to spray the underneath side of a bearing or get where you need to be to get full 100% encapsulation. In this case, because of the nature of the EnviroPeel, we're able to spray the substrate that is similar in contour and size, and then move that part of the EnviroPeel once it's cooled to the area where you cannot access with the spray gun. So this is an example of how we would do this if we could not access the bottom of the bearing. In this case, we would spray the top side of this bearing assembly, which matches the area that we cannot access with the spray gun. We'll spray around as far as we can. We will do this with 2 coats of product. Spraying right after the first coat is applied, you can spray without needing to wipe the surface because we're so hot on that first coat still. Once we have 2 coats applied, we're going to let this cool back to an ambient temperature where we can now peel it away and move it to the bottom. Now that we've let the product cool for a few minutes, it is solid enough that we can trim it up and move this to the bottom. In this case, we're going to trim off the drips as low as we can. Do that on both sides. We're going to remove this piece and move it to the bottom. Although it wants to stay in place, we're going to fix a mechanical tie here to hold it in place while we spray the top. We're going to gently snug that zip tie so it does not apply too much pressure to the coating around the shaft. Now we're going to wipe that surface that we're going to overcoat very well with any inhibitor oil that's splashed to the surface. And that will help with our bonding back to itself. Once this coating is in place, we're going to spray in from the top down and bond in with that existing coating. We'll spray down around as far as we can go to make sure we have as much overlap area as possible. Now we'll begin to spray in and incorporate the rest of the bearing that we can access